Hey everyone, and welcome to a unboxing and full review of the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Wonder Woman 1984 action figure. So here it is, the action figure of Wonder Woman from the 1984 movie, and we're going to be seeing it before we watch the movie. Of course, that was originally scheduled for June this year, but now pushed back to October, I believe. So let's see whether this figure matches with what we've seen in the trailers and the promotion photos. Now, it's been a while since DC have had a figure for SH Figuarts. The last one was the Birds of Prey Harlequin, which I did review, which was about 4 months ago now. And it seems as though they're continuing with this style of box, very colourful in this size. And you can see at the front they've used a real photo of Gal Gadot. And if we take a look at the Justice League version, you can see that they use photos of the figure itself, which is kind of blurry to me. This one just looks a lot more nicer, even the colors as well. So if we take a closer look, as well as the photo, you can see they've used a logo printed at the front of the transparent plastic. And then we have the logos and stickers here, DC, Warner Brothers. And I actually kind of like this purple and pink themed color. Kind of gives it that 80s feel. And at the back, of course, we have the figure in different poses, showing off its articulation. So now we can take a closer look at the Wonder Woman figure. Now it's out of its packaging. Now before I begin showing you the figure, I just want to mention the first initial photo I saw of this. It was taken at an exhibition. I think it was kind of blurry, but I thought it looked similar to the Justice League version, and the only difference was going to be the color of the armor. But then Tamashii Nations, of course, released the official photos of this figure, and I was definitely impressed with it. And when I first see it in person, it doesn't disappoint. I think this looks like a fantastic improvement to the Justice League version overall, from the head sculpt to the armor. Obviously, the armor in the Justice League was meant to be a lot darker, but from what I see, I do like this one. It has the colors pop out a lot more vibrant, which really matches well with the 80s theme. Now, when I hold on to the figure, I think it feels a lot like the Justice League version. I'm pretty sure it's similar in terms of the sculpt and build, but we're gonna have to do a comparison to really know. But I'm sure Tamashii Nations have used some similar materials. But if we first take a look at the head sculpt, this might even be the best DC SH Figuarts likeness. This definitely resembles Gal Gadot, and it's a major improvement to the Justice League version. This may even be better than the Mayfix version, and probably the best Wonder Woman 1/12 scale so far. Again, we're gonna have to do comparisons to really know, but from what I see, I'm very impressed with the face sculpt this time. I think the original Justice League version was a lot more pale. I think people complained about the lips and the skin tone. This one, they seem to have worked on it and improved and pretty much got it right this time. So I'm happy with the overall armor as well as the look of the face. And if you remember the Justice League version, I think her hairstyle was separated from top and bottom if you want to change the face. This time they've separated it into front and back. And even the tone of the hairstyle is a lot darker this time, which I think kind of resembles Gal Gadot again. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. From what I see of the trailers and promotion photos, this is a very screen accurate Wonder Woman 1984 figure. And if you remember the Justice League version, she had a strap around her, which was meant to hold on to the shield and sword. But from what I know, she's not going to be having those weapons in this film. So it's a lot more simple in terms of the looks, just Wonder Woman and the lasso. And I'm pretty sure you can take off the lasso, which I'll do later on, especially when she holds on to the longer one. So we're going to move on to the articulation, which is the movements of the figure, and then we're going to take a look at the accessories later on. So Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts are pretty much well known for their articulation. I think they are one of the best in terms of the 1/12 scale. So I think this one will have no problems. Most of the characters can do their iconic poses, so hopefully that's the case for this one as well. Obviously there are the odd occasions when the figure is a bit stiff in the joints and movements, And from what I remember, I think the Justice League version was pretty good, so I'm pretty sure this one will be similar. So I'm going to start off with the hair sculpt first. Obviously the hairstyle is overlapping, so make sure you have to do it a bit careful. You may need to overlap it over the shoulder, but you don't want to bend it out of place. So first she's going to look side to side, which she can do. Make sure you keep the hair in place because it can release quite easily. And then we can move it side to side, which most figures can do. This one not too much on the right because there's a lot more hair on this side. And then she can look upwards only slightly, and it kind of creates a gap at the bottom. I don't know if that kind of works or not, but I guess you can't really have it both ways. But I do like this movement downwards. As you can see, this is a very good pose. So it's pretty much standard, although there are some limitations on the hair. And then the arms, obviously side to side and rotate all the way around, and you can obviously close them up together, and then you can bring them back downwards, and then you can show off her biceps by moving them forwards and then rotating them all the way backwards like this, and then you can bring them forwards like she's pulling onto the lasso. And then obviously the iconic pose, which I'll probably spend more time on later on, but you can do that Wonder Woman pose, crossing the arms, and then she can dodge the bullets, which we see in the trailers. So that allows her to bend the arm like this, which is going to be a core pose, which we see in the trailer again. And they can actually bend this far back. And then for the actual hand, obviously there's rotation, and there's always going to be a pivot to go inwards and outwards as well. So pretty much standard for the arms. And then for the body, there's normally not that much movement in terms of the top half, but you can rotate it side to side and upwards slightly and downwards as well. Very minimal. And then for the lower half, probably slightly more. You can actually rotate it all the way around, I think, but I don't want to do too much because I think it's unnecessary. But you can move it side to side, and then she can go forwards for the crunch, and then backwards. And then for the lasso, especially when she's running or flying, you can change up the movement of that. And then for the legs, even though the skirt is kind of in the way, you can move it side to side like this, and then obviously kick forwards and backwards, and it can rotate both sides depending what you want to do. And then she can go forwards this much like this. And then for the knees, they do bend quite far back that you can almost touch the hair. And I think the front of her hair has actually fallen off, so I'm gonna have to put that back in. So the reason why they've separated the hair is because you're gonna be able to switch the face, which I'll show you a bit later on. So when it comes to the legs, pretty much standard. The foot, obviously it rotates, and then you can do the pivot for the toes as well. So you're going to have to play around with it in terms of the articulation. So now let's move on to the accessories. For the accessories, we get a longer lasso as well as a replacement part on the side when she takes off her current one, as well as a alternative head sculpt, which is the eyes looking to the side. And we also get 3 sets of alternative hands. And here is the pose where she's holding on to the lasso. So now let's do some side-by-side comparisons. Next to the SH Figuarts Justice League Wonder Woman. Next to the SH Figuarts Justice League Batman. Next to the SH Figuarts Justice League Superman. Next to the SH Figuarts Birds of Prey Harlequin. Next to the Mafex Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. Next to the Mafex Justice League Wonder Woman. And here it is next to the Justice League, Mafex and SH Figuarts Wonder Woman. And here it is next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse Wonder Woman Golden Armor. And I believe that Tamashii Nations will also be making their announcements for their own Golden Armor very soon. So now for my overall opinion of the Wonder Woman 1984 SH Figuarts. Firstly, it's a fantastic looking figure. From the face sculpt to the armor, they pretty much have it spot on from what we've seen so far in the promotions. The face likeness for sure resembles Gal Gadot, and may even be the best likeness to any DC character for Tamashii Nations, which is a great sign for things to come. As for the armor, I do like it as it's more vibrant and full of colour, so it does distinguish itself from the Justice League version, which to me is a great figure in my collection. As for the accessories and weapons, you can't go too much wrong, as the lasso, they've tried to do as much small details as they can, and then the longer lasso compared to the Justice League version gives it a lot more dynamic poses. As for the improvements, it probably doesn't bother me too much, but the hair sculpt does limit some of the movement of the head. But I know it's a better one than the Justice League version, just in terms of the colour and sculpt. As for the alternative face, I wish they could stop with the eyes looking to the side and just give us a more expression one, like she's in a fighting mode, or even one where she's just smiling. As for the alternative hands, we do get a decent variety, which is enough for her iconic poses. So from the presentation of the box to the figure itself, I'm very pleased with how things are, and I look forward to more DC content in the future. So my final score is 8.5 out of 10, as it may be the best 1/12 scale of the Wonder Woman figure out there right now. With this Wonder Woman and next month's 1989 Batman, I do hope Tamashii Nations make more announcements for their DC characters soon, as we know with the Suicide Squad, Justice League and the Batman coming out very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more news, reviews and hunts. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.